Good morning. My name is Terrence Carroll. I'm a member of the Executive Board of the Denver Area Council of Boy Scouts of America, and I also happen to be the former Speaker of the House. I'd like to welcome you to my former house here at the Supreme Court, the Supreme Court chambers in the state capitol. It's great to have so many scouts here, community leaders, and other interested people for the 2013 Boy Scouts State to the Report to the State. We have scouts here from 5 Boy Scout councils in Colorado: the Denver Area Council, Pikes Peak, Longs Peak, Western Colorado, and Rocky Mountain Council. So I'd like to thank you all for being here and give yourselves a big round of applause. They actually make this pretty easy for me. They actually tell me everything I'm supposed to say. It's just like being in politics. They just put something in front of you and just say it. Unless you're the lieutenant governor, who's smart enough to do it without getting cheat cards. But I'd like to talk a brief moment about scouting and why it's so important to me, and why every year when the council asks if I was going to do this, why I showed up to do this. I started scouting when I was 7 years old. My mother put me in Pack for Charlotte Baptist Church in Washington, D.C. I stayed in Scouts until I was roughly, Jim would know this, I think I was about 25 when I finally left scouting, at least the wearing a uniform part of scouting, when I finished being a district executive in the Denver Area Council. I'm also an Eagle Scout, which is probably one of my proudest moments in life because I got it just in the nick of time. I didn't finish my Eagle Scout project until probably a month before my 18th birthday, and I had my actual Eagle Scout ceremony after my 18th birthday. And I think the only reason I did it was because I was more afraid of my mother than not becoming an Eagle Scout. In retrospect, it is the best decision I ever made was to go through this. So if any of you are close to being an Eagle Scout and you're 18 or 17 and a half or something like that, finish it. You've come too far not to get it done. And you learn so many traits and so many leadership skills from being a Boy Scout and from being an Eagle Scout. And for my time in the Scouts, I worked in camp staff for 8 years. I was a visual honor over the Arrow and Eastern Region Chief over the Arrow. I was a senior patrol leader, junior assistant scoutmaster, patrol leader, quartermaster. I forgot everything that you do when you're a younger scout and you lead a den of Cub Scouts. But I did that too. We had a little blue and gold cord. I think it's called dinner or something. Den chief, thank you. So I knew it was something like that. I hadn't done that in a long time. That's like reaching way back into my memory. But again, scouting is so important, and it's such a wonderful organization. For the parents who are here, it doesn't work without you being involved. My mother was there all the time, and my mother had me. She was 51, but when I got into Scouts, she was in her 60s already. And she was already out there doing everything every other parent did. And I have a picture of my mother rappelling down the side of the wall when she was nearly 70 years old. And so that inspired me. If my mother could do that at 70, there was no way I wasn't going down the side of that wall because I was not going to be embarrassed for my mother. And really, you're a short 70-year-old woman outdoing you. I don't think you did. So parents, it's really important because your involvement inspires your kids. So let's move on with this. This is not really all about my involvement in scouting. I just share that to be an inspiration, hopefully to someone out there who wonders why they're in scouting, or a parent who wonders if it matters at all. It really doesn't matter. And so the next person I want to introduce, and I don't think he's speaking, it doesn't say that you are, is Doug Jones, who's our council president of the Denver Area Council. He's with us this morning. So Doug, if you have to stand up. I'd also like to represent some of our elected officials who are here. Actually, it's just one. That's State Representative Spencer Swan, who's from, you have to stand up. Representative Swan is South Arapahoe County. Still in Arapahoe County, Centennial area. We served together for a few years in the House. And thank you for being here this morning. Next, I would like to introduce the Lieutenant Governor of the great state of Colorado. I actually have an introduction for him written here, but this is someone who I've spent some time with. In fact, we were stuck in a campaign bus together for several hours during my selection cycle, and that's Lieutenant Governor Joe Garcia, who also happens to be head of the Colorado Department of Higher Education. He's so good. He's one of the few lieutenant governors in the state that can handle two jobs, and he does both jobs in an outstanding manner. He's also a former Boy Scout, and I'm sure we'll talk about his experience in scouting. He has a special surprise for you all. That he's one of the smartest people I know, one of the most dedicated people I know, one of the finest leaders that I know anywhere in this country. And being in politics and being a lawyer, I've had an opportunity to be around a lot of different leaders. And he's actually an outstanding leader, an excellent leader. He's also the former president of CSU Pueblo, and he took a school that was probably off of everyone's radar in the state of Colorado. No one talked about CSU Pueblo, and he turned it into one of the great institutions in our state. So without any further ado, our Lieutenant Governor, Joe Garcia.
It is really an honor, and it's fun to be here, get a chance to talk to all of you. As I look around, I'm just reminded of so many experiences I had as a young man, as a boy, when, like Terrence, my mother and father encouraged me to get involved in scouting. And I stayed involved in scouting for a long time, and I came across this recently, and I brought with me today because I'm still very proud of it. I had my scouting experience, and it was in a very different environment than Terrence's. Terrence was in Washington, D.C. I was in a place called Fort Wainwright in the interior of Alaska. And frankly, it was a great place to be a scout. It was a great place to learn about hunting and fishing and camping and snowshoeing and archery and shooting and all those different things that really allowed me to enjoy and experience Alaska in a very different way. And then I stayed involved when my father was in the military, got transferred back, eventually to Washington, D.C. So I did some scouting there as a senior patrol leader and as really an adult leader as I became a young adult and still wanted to work as support scouting. It's been really important to me because it gave me a sense of confidence in my own abilities. It's where I first learned to do any public speaking of any kind. It was the first time I had a chance to get up in front of people and talk about my life and my experiences. And I will tell you, and I'm not exaggerating this at all, that had I not been involved in scouting, I don't think I would have finished college. I wouldn't have had the opportunity to go to Harvard Law School. I wouldn't have had the opportunity to be university president, and I certainly wouldn't be lieutenant governor. My years in scouting were my formative years, just as they are for all of you. These are the years when you're going to learn about yourself. You're going to learn how to work with others. You're going to learn about leadership. You're going to learn to develop a sense of self-confidence that will carry you through some very tough times that we all face in life. So I really, really want to encourage you to stick with it. One of the things you may notice here is the rank I ended up with. I did end up as an Eagle Scout. I ended up as a Life Scout, just a little bit short of an Eagle, and that is one of the regrets I've always had, is that I didn't push through and get that done as parents did. And I would encourage all of you who are on that path to stay on it. It gives you a goal to work towards, and goals are important. They help you accomplish so many things in life. You can just set a goal and then work day after day after day to obtain that goal. So keep working hard. And to the parents and scout leaders who are here, I just want to say thank you. Because it wouldn't be possible for these young men to get the experience that they're getting without your very active support. I know it takes a lot of work to be a parent of a scout, to be a scout leader. It takes a lot of commitment, a lot of dedication, a lot of sacrifice. But I'll tell you, it is worth it, because you will make a difference on these young men's lives, and they will forever be better for it. So thank you for what you're doing. I'm excited to hear the report from the Scouts coming up in just a few minutes. And I just want to tell you again, stick with it. Scouting is a great experience. It will make you a better person. Thank you all very much.
Now I'd like to call on our Scout delegates to present the 2013 report to the state. Leading the report is Colin Metcher, Eagle Scout and Order of the Arrow Lodge Chief from the Denver Area Council. Did I say your name right? Oh, wow.
Good morning, everyone. Leaders, fellow scouts again, parents and friends, my name is Colin Metcher. I'm an Eagle Scout in the Denver Area Council, and this year I'm serving as the Order of the Arrow Lodge Chief for Tohosa Lodge. Today, March 24th, 2014, delegates from across the state of Colorado have joined together to present the official report, giving you highlights of the many accomplishments Scouting experienced in 2013. The mission of the Boy Scouts of America is to prepare young people to make ethical and moral choices over their lifetimes by teaching the values of the Scout Oath and Law. Parents, volunteers, and Scouts all know that Scouting is a way of life. Because of that way of life, our organization has a rich history, a thriving and vital community, and a vision and mission that will carry us into the future. Along our path, we can be made proud of the contributions Scouting has made to this great state of Colorado. Like the Scouts who came before us, today's young Scouts will become presidents, astronauts, business leaders, and athletes. Many will serve their country in the armed forces. Others will serve their communities as good Samaritans and their families as husbands and wives and fathers and mothers. I am so grateful to this program. Through Scouting, I've been given the chance to take on leadership responsibilities parallel to none. Where else can a 13-year-old lead his peers on a camping trip or teach leadership and skills to younger Scouts? This year, I've been given the opportunity to serve as the Lodge Chief for Boy Scouts National Honor Society Order of the Arrow. I have the chance to run a 1,300-member organization and personally touch the lives of hundreds of fellow Scouts. Scouting has given me the experience of a lifetime. It is my pleasure to now introduce Taylor Blanchard, a Star Scout and a venturer in Crew 179 with the Civil Air Patrol from the Rocky Mountain Council.
With 20,087 adult volunteers in 5 local councils throughout Colorado, the Boy Scouts of America helps its 79,418 youth members to be prepared for life. The value of that preparation lives in the heart of every person involved in life who has ever overcome one's life challenges, and it helps inspire a lifetime of character and service. We serve 26,230 boys ages 6 to 10 in Cub Scouting, 16,827 boys ages 11 to 17 in Boy Scouting and Varsity Scouting, 2,898 young men and women ages 14 to 20 in Venturing and Sea Scouting, 31,185 boys and girls in elementary through high school in Learning for Life character education programs, 2,278 young men and women ages 14 to 20 in exploring career-based programs. The DSA prepares young people for leadership by giving them the skills to take responsibility and teach by example. For example, Eagle Scout is the highest attainable rank in Boy Scout, and Scouts must demonstrate proficiency in leadership, service, and outdoor skills at multiple levels before achieving the Eagle rank. In 2013, we celebrated 1,015 Scouts earning the rank in Colorado. In addition to the 21 life skills merit badges required, each Scout must complete an extensive service project that he plans, organizes, leads, and manages before his 18th birthday. Now, today, I was asked to talk to everybody about what my experiences in Scouting were. Now, I must submit to you that as compared to some of the people in this room, I have relatively no life experience. I don't know what life is. However, with Scouting, I'm able to be prepared for something like that. Even on this morning when I came to this great capital, I realized that as a 16-year-old male of the species, I am relatively inexperienced in life. I couldn't tell you the first thing about love, security, inexperience, or indifference. But Scouting has prepared me to bear and shoulder all of these things. Through the basic principles of the Scout Oath and Law, I have been taught that sometimes all it takes to be loyal to someone is to stay with them at the back of the hike when everybody else moves ahead. I have been taught that courtesy is working at summer camp, and not just serving Scouts, but also angry, coffee-deprived Scoutmasters. And with a smile. And finally, I learned that leadership is something to be discovered in the presence of brothers, fathers, and friends. It is no foreign, alienated aspiration. I have had all of these experiences and more more with Scouting, and I thank every person who guided me through them along the way. Thank you. It is my pleasure to now introduce Michael Brown, a second-class scout of Troop 331 in the Denver area.
During the year of 2013, 79,418 young people in the great state of Colorado reaped the benefit of Scouting's timeless values through the membership in more than 2,245 Cub Scout packs, Boy Scout troops, varsity teams, Sea Scout ships, venture crew, explorer posts, and learning for life groups. These opportunities came as a direct result of the efforts of Scouting's partnerships with over 1,887 community organizations of churches, service clubs, schools, and businesses. The young people in Scouting programs throughout the state have learned the skills necessary to take our place in positions of leadership in our schools, communities, and state when our time comes. Scouting has been preparing young people for leadership roles and positions of responsibility for 104 years, and you can be assured that we will be prepared to take our place when we are called. What Scouting has done for me is it has given me the confidence to overcome my fear of heights, which has led me to realize with hard work anything is possible, and to strengthen my belief in God and my country. It is my pleasure to now introduce David Gant, an Eagle Scout in Troop 104 from the Western Colorado Council.
BSA prepares young people for service by providing opportunities for them to help their communities throughout service of others. In 2013, Boy Scouts of America in Colorado meet the emerging needs of society with young programs and service, including Good Turn for America, a national service entities that addresses critical areas of need in society. Other thousands of scouts and venturers throughout the state provide projects in their communities, including scouting for food, clothing and toy drives, cleanups of local schools, serving food to senior citizens and shelters, visiting nursing homes, and collecting coats for Denver homeless. Collectives Scouts across Colorado gave 364,970 hours of volunteer time in 2013 at a value of $8,080,436 based on the National Volunteer for value their collective in 129,288 pounds of food to help replenish food banks across the state. It is my pleasure to now introduce Madison Hans, a venturer in Crew 5771 from Pikes Council.
The BSA prepares young people for learning by mentoring youth to set goals and work to reach them one step at a time. The Boy Scouts of America has continued to build on its partnership with ExxonMobil, NASA, and other key organizations to develop curriculum in the fields of science, technology, engineering, and math, known as STEM, and to interest young people in considering a career in these fields. Part of the BSA's mission is to teach young people to be prepared for adventures of all kinds throughout the course of their lives. When youth start scouting, the possibilities of where it will take them are endless. In all, 23,717 scouts camped during 2013. The Boy Scouts of America helps prepare our nation's youth to face and overcome the challenges of the future. While most people avoid obstacles, the Boy Scouts of America teaches scouts and venturers to face them head-on and exceed even their own expectations. In scouting, youth have opportunities to acquire skills that make them more self-reliant by completing any number of challenges, scouting activities. Attributes of good character become part of a youth as he or she learns to meet challenges that may include problem solving, teamwork, difficult trails and portages, and dealing with nature's unexpected circumstances. I have grown up following the Scout oath and law my entire life as I followed my brother, starting with Cub Scouts and as he moved up into Boy Scouts. Now here I am today, standing in front of you as a Venture Scout. Scouting has prepared me for life by allowing me to go into any situation, whether it be at school, while I'm driving, or anywhere, and giving me the confidence to know what to do without hesitation. I have had the privilege to teach adult and youth scouters life skills to help better prepare them for life. The opportunities I've been given in scouting gives me the courage and self-confidence to face unknown situations, such as speaking to you today, with the assurance that I will do my best. It is to a great extent that scouting has prepared me for life, everywhere from how to tie a knot to being able to save a person's life. And I can honestly say that scouting has truly prepared me to face my future head-on with confidence. It is my pleasure to now introduce Jovan Guidry, a Tiger Cub in Pack 247 from the Long Speed Council.
My name is Jovan Guidry. I enjoy going camping with my family and attending den meetings, making friends. One of my favorite times as a Tiger Cub Scout is building the Pilot Derby car with my dad and Samuel. Thank you for attending the 2013 report to the state of Colorado by members of the Boy Scouts of America. The Boy Scouts of America, in its 104th year, looks forward to be part of the leadership and growth of America. In our future, we commit to continue our efforts in building leadership, opportunity, citizenship, training, and personal development. For our youth, it is our pleasure and intent to continue to serve our community, state, and our great nation. Through the skills we have learned and by passing those skills on to others as they are raised. Thank you.
Thank you to all of our scouts for providing an excellent 2013 report to the state. I don't know about you, but I certainly feel really good about the future of scouting and the future of our country because all of these young scouts gave an excellent report and were really bright, shining examples of leadership and the character development that comes from the scouting movement. It's now my pleasure to introduce Jim Blair, who's the council commissioner for the Denver Area Council. And guess he always wears shorts.
What a great day to be a scout.
Today, you see Scouts large and small, male and female, and from every walk of life. Scouting is for everyone, and every child deserves the opportunity to be a scout. Thanks to Joe Garcia for his comments, to Terrence for his. They are public leaders who built their adult leadership capacity on the foundation of scouting. And I hope each of you walk away from here this morning with the memory of the words from those two. And then the memory of the words from your fellow scouts. You did well. Thank you, and I'm proud to be able to share this podium with you this morning. We share the pride of the Boy Scout movement in the state of Colorado with our leaders today. I got to tell you, if you can't scout well in Colorado, you can't do it anywhere. What a paradise for young people to develop leadership and citizenship to share with our fellow Coloradans and Americans. So what does it mean to be a Boy Scout? It means fun and adventure. Exciting experiences that make a lifetime impression. It means experiential learning by doing and applying outdoor skills, such as first aid, wilderness survival, camping, science, computers, robotics, conservation, and aquatics. Skills useful for a lifetime. It means developing leadership skills, teaching and caring for others. Our scouts this morning articulated that well. We use the patrol method at all levels, where every scout has the opportunity to plan and to lead and to succeed with small groups of friends and working in what we call scout-size projects. It means giving back to the community. You heard the numbers. Last year, scouts in Colorado gave back more than 400,000 hours of community service, worth $8 million or more. And I suspect that these numbers are low. No other organization makes this kind of contribution to its community. The return on investment is beyond belief, and I thank you for that. It means the development of self-esteem and responsibility and character, all based on values and a commitment to others. So ultimately, it means that more young people, boys and girls, are prepared to be Colorado's future leaders. My job as the lead uniformed scouter of the Denver Area Council is a good one, kind of like being the scoutmaster. It's a good job if you can get it. And on behalf of the 20,000 adult volunteers in our state who deliver the scouting program to you each day and every week, I congratulate you, and I thank you, and I congratulate the fine scouts who presented our report today. They represent the very best that the scouting movement can offer and remind me every day of the value of what Boy Scouting brings to the United States of America. So as we start our second 100 years in Denver and our second sort of 96 years of the national movement, let me encourage all of us to continue to go forward and share our experiences. Both scouts and scouters share our skills and share our good deeds that help our fellow citizens and our families. God bless each of you for what you do and the great work you deliver to the scouting movement. Thank you for participating with us this morning. Congratulations. Give yourselves a nice round of applause.